everybody, welcome back to Stanley Parable Ultra Bucket. I mean Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, but seriously, what the fuck?
All of his co-workers What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm thinking of what we haven't done yet, and there's two things I could think of that we haven't done yet. And we should do both of those endings, and then do them both again, but with the bucket. That's what I'm thinking that we should do. So we're going to go down the route that says escape. So I'm going to cut to that.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I should have started this part of the escape room. Oops.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Instead of the end.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I should have started this part here.
Through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nope, we're going down the escape route.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Can't believe I waited so long to do this one.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Not doing it.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Nope, we're going down to my demise. Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion, and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, it reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is.
There's a catwalk there I'd like to go on.
His death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from
Those are not buttons, that is a light.
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley,
what the fuck?
cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
New narrator?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
Yes!
What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
That's exactly what happened.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to 2 doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. The pacing on its corridor section was important to get right. The corridors have been altered to make sure players reach 2 doors. time. Oh, this is so fascinating. Decided to open doors the very first concrete piece of Stanley Parable's design. We're just going to create the rest of the game as an extension of it, exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Ah! Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard and synthesized tone. Okay. We got the credits. We found the credits! Main interim. I really first in the main interim. Whoa, what is that? That's the monitor room from below. Huh. Cash raining down? What? Weird. Narrator emails. At our second trailer, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. When we initially had plans to use for approaches, never found the perfect user. And here's a selection of its emails. How do you stay in shape? Michael the Rock Martin. Wait, next one. Have you what? I didn't read that. That was okay. I didn't get a chance to read that other one. That was so fast. So fast. Okay, I'm a game in the works. I'm eager to appreciate the credit given to art, which is, you see, a sequel, prequel, standalone, companion game because art. You have to get censoring. Okay, I don't get to read all that. See both. Infinite Quest, it's really gonna let me go shopping. I hope it was. It's like Desert Boots Cameron. What the okay. The apartment timer. A previous version of the choice leading the apartment timer had to pick up 15 seconds, pick the phone up, pick up quickly, 2 different endings. Ah, okay, they changed that. The second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, and to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. Cargo has always tended to offer a choice of staying or jumping off on a different path. For after this early version decided we also wanted the option of player falling to their death. Maintenance layout. The flow always following the first 2 doors is important to get right, so players will play so many times. Then we discussed the number of times, ultimately simple versions of what played out. Obey just obey the lounge maintenance. It's begin depending on how you entered. To the confusion ending. One door to maintenance and lounge, you're going to go back on track. Vent, what about this? Event. Ah, okay. This is so fascinating. God, I love looking at game development stuff. This ending, though. That's already the part of the ending. Player will pull a lever near to describe what color you had pulled. Zending. This reach out and picks an early version of the ending known as Zending, which is eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Huh. Part. Interesting. The Zending went through many iterations. This represents the 4th version ending. Thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch. The Zending. Little button. There's that button there. The Zending. I don't remember the Zending. Countdown desk. If for a time the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down, with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this and players found it too to go to remember what was up and what was down, with 2 endings together instead. You gonna pop out again? Press. Interesting. Monitor room elevator. For a time the elevator in the monitor room could hover down. So I had to place 2 endings together instead. Okay. Same as what you said before. This is so interesting. So interesting. Boss's office. Screens for development in the boss's office. Oh, it's so empty on that one. This is so fascinating to me. This is so fascinating to me. Underground. Early version of Underground. Escape Minecraft. Yeah.
Then he pushed the number 8.
Kevin Brying, the voice and narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. The clips have early takes that were not used in the final game.
Stanley stood on the snow.
snow.
Stanley pushed the number 6. Let's see. Stanley walked through the green door. Stanley stood on the roof.
Huh.
When Stanley came to, he traveled upward to the power source at the top of the facility.
Interesting. That's so interesting. That's so interesting. Oh, there's a thing over here. And exit, okay. Game design mockup. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, kind of audition piece. To make this level got William higher design full game, though much refinements changed, the basically offering this mockup is still in the game. Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office. It was created in November 2011, 2nd March 2012, and 3rd February 2013. They made it more crowded and claustrophobic, it feels like. It feels like they made it more crowded and claustrophobic. Interesting. So went on. What? Early development design and ending where Stanley would end up on the battlefield fighting aliens. What? An action game would become sentient and wage war against Nero. Shortly after starting the build, it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpret it as being fun of people like shooters, which was not our intention. Interesting. Ultra Deluxe announced 2008. The announced Ultra Deluxe version of the same period. The Game Awards screenshots of the video are made of the videos we made for the announcement and the game's delay. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, that's what that was. Okay. I think we've seen everything. I think we can go to the exit now. This is so interesting. Another person in the counter room. Oh, cool.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit.
What?
There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Ow. And we're dead. That was so interesting. There. The game loaded. I was like, if you're not going to load, I'm going to hit the begin the game again. That was so interesting. Oh, I love seeing stuff about how the games are how games are designed. Oh my god.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
We're going to go back there with the bucket this time. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so great. All right, I'll come back there.
Touched the bucket. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Nope.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nope, we're going.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them. I
do to say sometimes this game does feel like a horror game and I get freaked out that something's going to jump at me. Like, it's not, but it's like this game would... If it did a jump scare, it would scare the shit out of me. Oop. Here we go again.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant,
Stanley and
the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death. It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way. This stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
God, the bucket. Welcome to the grand exhibit. You are standing here at precipice of knowledge, much like a bucket itself. Your mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void, but through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and refers to substantiate. Now that the bucket's history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out into the world, accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of the exhibit? Will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? Oh no. Oh no.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own?
A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera.
Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. Photographer experienced chaotic shock for several weeks as old. Fear for exposing this many buckets on. This is more than 25! This bucket is depicted as having two handles, such a design claim created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and rigorously experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Oh my fucking god. Oh, there's a thing up there! Oh my god, there's a thing up there. Oh my god, I want to go up. I want to go up there. I want to know what's up there. Inferno bucket. Replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it doesn't need to war with one another to control, that billions died in spite of it all, some fragments, no one could control a bucket. The stress bucket analogy, worrying and unusually resting relaxing coping strategy souls. The stress bucket presented without commentary. Oh my god, it's been bucket getting sandy. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. In this case, ranks 50 early man discovered the correct use of the bucket. Signed the bucket and even around for several. Notice it's destroyed so the bucket is allowed itself to be used for the of its treasures.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
This piece symbolizes the necessary in bucket and humanity, however clear the grasp of the bucket may be, is that always outreach this distance and have to leave for our own good. Into the hole! Oh. I was walking in the air for a moment.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision for...
All of his co-workers were gone. What did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh my god.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh my god.
It was okay.
Oh my god.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
We can go here without the bucket. We didn't go here without the bucket before. Wait a minute, I just thought that. Because we went here with...
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling.
No, I actually kind of hate that
to be you.
God.
Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
That's it! That's it! Oh my god.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's actually do what I was intending to do. Okay?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her.
Okay.
If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
What if I unplug it?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope.
Nice.
Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
Yep.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it.
What?
Had I not noticed it
What?
sooner?
What is happening?
You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Oh! That's...
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
Wait.
Please observe this helpful...
No.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read.
What?
Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Oh, my goodness, is it...
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process.
Wow.
Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less?
8.
And finally, if you
eight,
begin to
eight's
wonder
back,
if your choices
eight's
are
back.
actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction.
Yep.
But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Okay.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Okay. What's going on?
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Okay.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work.
It's the door from the...
Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Ah! Oh, God. Whoa.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Okay, it's gonna loop until I actually
exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
The executive bathroom doesn't have the sign on it anymore.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115. Of course the game doesn't actually pick up my mic. Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. Doesn't actually pick up my mic.
The code. Night Shark 115.
Night.
He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115. The game doesn't pick it up.
I'm sorry.
The game doesn't pick up the mic.
You didn't mishear me, did
Some
you?
games do pick up your mic.
Please speak
but
the code
this
into
one
the
doesn't.
receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine. You're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right.
No, I
you could
couldn't.
have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What? We're not Stanley anymore. We're not Stanley anymore.
Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
That felt like the definitive end of the game. That felt like the definitive end of the game.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much it was. It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
That felt like the definitive end of the game.
Touched the bucket tightly
like
to his chest. This was not the correct way.
It felt like the definitive end of the game.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
I'm trying to figure out.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Never mind.
I'm trying to figure out.
The bucket was wrong. Stanley
exactly
took the to go back to the meeting
what
room.
They were trying to say with that ending, because on the one hand,
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Yes, good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
God,
it should have alarmed
him,
because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Because the game said in that instructional video that's your choices are in the vast expanse of space meaningless, but then it goes on to
go
show
into this dark room over here.
what happens when
Stanley
you're not
once again obeyed blindly.
with Stanley not making the choices and showing
Now pick up
that
the
your
phone,
choices actually
said the bucket.
do
the
matter.
phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Because the idea of, your choices and everything is meaningless, I disagree with that. I disagree with that philosophy and that concept of, your choices are meaningless. I disagree with that so much.
Hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully...
No.
Wait, yes, there is.
Oh, my God.
It's sitting right here. Let's take a
God,
look.
no. Oh, my God. Here we go.
What is comedic timing?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds?
What?
Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny."
I'm done with the funny!
Meaning, I'm Dunny with the funny now.
I'm done with the funny! Do not make
Good.
me.
This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, with each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threatened our very existence, very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
What the?
Hey, goodness, this video is a little complicated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back. I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Okay. Oh, that was weird. Okay, what?
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Whoa.
What? We're back at the phone already? No, what's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land, or not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing.
I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that.
No.
Surely that will help me.
No.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Yes, I'm confused.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone.
I'm confused,
Not even
sir.
Look at the instructional video.
I'm
I think
confused,
this
sir.
was all covered very clearly.
Listen, sir,
There's
I'm
no
just
way I
confused.
can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
I'm confused. What?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
We're back here. Okay, and the bucket's there. Yay. Okay. Woo! Wow. Okay, so that bucket one with unplugging the phone is pretty funny. It's funny. The one where you actually unplug the phone without the bucket feels like the actual ending of this game. It feels like the actual intended ending of this game. It feels like it does what the game is about, like choices and predeterminism, whether your choices actually mean anything or not. I disagree with the instructional video on your choices in the vast infinite are meaningless. I disagree with choices being meaningless and whatnot, but it seems like the developers kind of lean the way with your choices actually mattering, because they take away your control of Stanley and how that affects it, and like the whole game is about choice. I feel like the developers, even though obviously the whole thing of the game is predeterminism, and you can say that with video games. Yes, video games very much are under predetermined paths. In real life, your choices are important, I'd say. I and whatnot. I'm gonna do something. Just a moment. This might be the end. There might be a bonus video where I do the baby game for 4 hours, maybe. Because I can't think of anything. We went down that path and that path and that path and that path. Like, I feel like I've gone down every path with and without the bucket. Like, I feel like I have gone down every path. Right? That's how I feel. I feel like I've gone down every path with the bucket. Or every path in this game. I'm like, God, the bucket's driving me insane. That's how I feel. I feel like I've done everything pretty much in a way, other than 4-hour baby game. There might be some other stuff, like I still feel like that trap door in the control room might be something. That could just be a red herring. That could absolutely just be a red herring. And there might be something else I missed, but I think overall I've done everything. Actually, hold on just a moment. Actually, I'm gonna open up Steam and check Steam achievements actually on this. Well, I actually want to check the achievements on this. Here it is. Let me check what achievements I'm missing. I have 6 out of 11 achievements. Play the serial for the entire duration of a Tuesday. I'll do that baby game then. Complete the Stanley Parable under 4 minutes 22 seconds, not including load times. Set all settings in the menu to all the available numbers. Are you serious? Don't play Stanley Parable for 10 years. Okay, some of these are jokes. I haven't done speedrun. Yeah, which is, I think, doing the main ending in under 4 minutes and 22 seconds. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, achievements not really. I don't see any achievements that seem to be anything for an ending. Test achievement, please ignore. Yeah, so I think I really have done almost everything in the game except for the baby ending and maybe some stuff that I can't think of or hasn't been found yet and I'm not clever enough to find. I'm not someone who can like attack the game and boundary break this shit and figure out where stuff is. I'm not that kind of person who knows how to do that stuff, so I don't know what's left in the game. This is the end, I think. I'm probably going to put question marks at the end of this because I'm not sure. Which means that this is kind of all for the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe or Stanley Parable 2 or whatever the fuck. This game, the game's great. It's so good at making me lose my mind. I lost my mind on this. So, yeah. This was the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys either on Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe bonus or Pikmin 2 bonus, because I still haven't done that. And then when either one of those are done or both of them are done, I will start the next Let's Play, unless more of this is like discovered, like unless there's more that's like discovered and we find, and it's like found by like other people playing this game, and it's like, hey, there's this, why not? Yeah, so if there's anything I missed that I can't think of right now, tell me, because I will do that in next part or whatever, and it can extend this series. There's a reason that the end on this part is going to be put up in question marks. So yeah. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video, whatever the bonus video will be. See ya.